Happy Wednesday, Georgian Bay. Welcome to this week's episode of The Scoop, your backstage pass to the people, stories, and conversations shaping our community. I'm Janine, and I am so excited to introduce the inspiring guests we have lined up for you today. But first, our fabulous co-hosts, Katerina and Nadia.
Hello. Today's episode is all about acting on stage and on screen.
So that makes me want to know, who is your favorite actor or actress?
You go first.
No.
Oh, man.
me, with the list.
Prepare for the list. Prepare for the list.
Janine, you go first.
Yeah.
Okay, Denzel Washington. Oh my God, on my faint surprise, but true. I know when I knew he was on my favorite actors. You remember Training Day?
Mm-hmm.
Hated that movie. I'm so sorry, but it's true. But when he said, King Kong has nothing on me type of thing, I was like, his character drove me crazy. But credit to the man because apparently that was not scripted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They had one take and he said when it was done, I hope you got it because I can't do it again.
Okay.
That was completely all him. The man's a fabulous actor. I could give some lists, but no. Denzel Washington is it.
Okay.
Okay? The man in the movie is genius. Okay? That's it.
I mean, I don't mean to sound cliche, but I have to go Meryl Streep.
Mm-hmm.
Just from everything that she's done in her career, but also because I hate/love it when an actor that you know and love, and you're like, oh yeah, well they're an actor, and then they turn around and they can sing, and you're like, what? Why were you born with it all? And so when Meryl Streep, she was the witch in Into the Woods, and I was like, hate you, love you.
Yeah.
You just made it to #1 for me. So, and that role is
Okay.
killer. So yeah, I can talk about Broadway actors too, but like Kristen Chenoweth, who was also whatever. But I digress.
I'm sure you also have a list.
Yeah,
I'm sure.
yeah.
Positive about that.
Yeah, wow.
Kat?
Obviously, both of those actors are on my list, but Sir Anthony Hopkins,
100%.
for me, and Nicole Kidman. I mean, every performance that she gives, she just like completely transforms, and I believe fully that it's the character. She gives everything, and it's so varied and different. So she's one of those people that I like can't get enough of on screen. Sandra Bullock too. I don't know. She's like her
so
energy,
likable.
her energy, and like the positivity. Like I could watch anything. I don't care if the movie is good or bad. If like some of the actors are honestly, if they bring the performance, I am in there with them, and I really enjoy it. So
Melissa McCarthy's like that for me too.
Oh,
Like,
she's pretty
even, like
great.
terrible movies.
Yeah.
I'm like, but it's a Melissa McCarthy
Yeah.
movie. I'm like,
Yes.
I'll watch it.
they're just
Bridesmaids.
enjoyable.
Yeah.
Very enjoyable people to watch. So yeah, a little bit of like obviously people that have the skills and the talents and everything that they bring, but also themselves as people, that what they bring to that role, each role in each film is very captivating on screen. So just a few. That was a very short list. I have a bigger one.
That's pretty good. I'm impressed actually.
All the sirs and dames. All the sirs and dames.
Well, whether you're into Oscar winners or Broadway stars, our first guest is living the actor's life at, guess what, age 12.
Unbelievable.
Jack Bischoff is a familiar face in youth and community theater, and now he's making the leap into film and television. He's recently shot an exciting new project that he can't talk about just yet, but trust us when we say you will want to remember his name.
Awesome.
Jack, thank you so much for being here today. Okay. Let's get started with your story. How old were you when you first got into acting, and what made you want to try it?
Well, I think when I was like 3 or 4, I was like kind of a toddler. It was in preschool, and I would show up every day. And they would actually make like a little stage for like me and like other kids. We would all like perform, just have a good time. And that was really encouraging, and that kind of got me into like the arts and that kind of thing. And then I showed up every day in a new costume. It's like one day I'd be a fireman, the next time I'm a police officer, and the next all of a sudden I'm Batman. So that kind of thing.
That's very cool. So right away you liked being like on stage and performing for people, for your kids and for everybody else that was watching?
Yeah, I've always enjoyed that. It's just, it's always been like a part of me. And instead of like moving forward into like sports and that kind of thing, I would focus more on acting because I find that more enjoyable.
What do you love most about acting and performing? And do you have a favorite role that you've played so far?
Let's start with like my favorite thing about acting, I'd say, is how I can change people's emotional state with like my character, and how I can portray a character on stage and then just pull off stage, and all of a sudden they'll be like, wait,
Yeah.
but you were, excuse me? And that's always a cool feeling when you can get somebody so intrigued by you playing a character so well.
And do you have a favorite role that you've played so far that you can talk about?
Yeah, that's really hard. When I was in Moana, I played Maui, and then there was Charlie in the Chocolate Factory when I played Charlie.
Oh, cool.
It's between those two roles, I had a really good time, and like the audience loved everybody on stage, and everybody was so nice. It was just overall great time. I've been in so many other plays, and all those other plays, still we had an amazing time. It doesn't matter if you're a main character or not. It's more if you have a good time.
Yeah, with the group, with everyone around, with the performance aspect. Yeah.
It was like the people who surround you, and playing that character and seeing all these other people portray their character and getting to act as totally different people, and then off stage you're best friends with them, and then as soon as you get on stage and all of a sudden you're like enemies. That's a good time. That's a good time. That's always a good time.
And you have worked with both on stage and on camera. What would you say is the biggest difference between the two mediums?
I would say film is a lot like easier because you get to take more than one shot. So if I were to mess up a line, or if I'm supposed to sing a song and then all of a sudden, boom, I messed that up, you can just retry the take. In plays, it's more as soon as I get on and I go to sing, and then if you mess that up, you just gotta keep going. It's like you gotta, like, it's like singing "You're Welcome" instead of saying "You're welcome," saying "Thank you." You can't like change that when you're playing Maui or something like that.
Has that happened to you on stage?
Yeah, I think that's happened to most actors, like on stage. That's like that's a pretty basic problem. But I mean, that's only on like the first show. If you do multiple, it's like you
then
get
you just
so used
flow
to
into it, right?
Yeah,
that repetition. And do you like that? Is it different every time that you are on stage? Like if it's the same play, but every day that you go, is it a little bit different for you based off of how the other actors play, based off like the audience as well? Or do you just kind of stick to what you love and dig deeper into the character, bring out more of that?
Well, I try and be like a method actor where I try and get into character as much as possible. And then when the audience is better, when they're like clapping and cheering as much as they can, that makes you want to like act better and better, because you're like, these audience are loving me, I'm gonna keep doing this. Where if you don't have as good of an audience, it's like, I'm gonna be like droopy, I'm not gonna have as good of a time, you know?
So you feed off the vibe from the audience.
I do, I feed off
That
of
energy.
the audience. Yeah.
How do you feed off of the camera when you're on set?
Ooh, well, it's more like I'm energetic because I'm surrounded by all these amazing people. Even then, it's like, so long as you're having a good time, we're all cracking jokes like behind the scenes, and like if I were to get like a line wrong, all of a sudden we'd all be laughing, because it's like when you mess it up, when you're supposed to say like, yeah, and then all of a sudden there was a slap, and then you go, uh-oh, then there was a clap, and then everybody would start laughing. It's a good time overall. And you don't need like an audience always. It's quite a big difference, if I'm being honest, where you have a crowd cheering for you. You're more nervous actually in front of a crowd than you are on film. But I think that's really it.
I know that you've recently filmed something you can't talk about just yet. How hard is it to keep that kind of a secret? It's like on the tip of your tongue, right? You're like,
It is. It really is. Because once you announce like that you're doing something, everybody wants to immediately know what it is. Like that's a thing for a lot of actors. And then when people like ask me what it is and I say I can't say, it's like you want to say so bad. But the best I can do is tell people when it's coming out and like where. I can't say like where to look for it. I mean, if only, but like that's like in my contract, so that's hard.
So when is it coming out? Can you tell us when?
I think I can, yes. September.
Okay. All right.
okay,
Something
so
to look
soon.
forward to.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And you are only 12, so this might seem like a very long ways away for you, but where do you see yourself in 10 years?
I've thought about Broadway, and I've thought about like, the dream is to be on screen playing like bigger roles. Like my dream role would be to play like a spy or like Batman or something like that. That would be so much fun.
That's very cool.
I really like Christian Bale, so that's like a lot of the roles he portrays. I'm like, oh, I'd love to do that. That looks like so much fun.
Is he your favorite actor?
He's on my list. I have a pretty long list, like you guys said earlier. I really like Margot Robbie and Ryan Reynolds, and Margot Robbie is just a really strong, independent woman, and she portrays her characters so well. And the adjustment where when I watched Barbie with my sister, and I know that sounds like a weird movie for me to go to, but like when I went to see it, I thought like, oh, this is like, she just played that character so well. It was so enjoyable, and it was such a difference from when she played Barbie to when she played Harley Quinn. Like when one of the scenes in Harley Quinn, it made me laugh so hard when I saw all the guys were going to rescue her and they were like crawling up the wall, and then all of a sudden she's like taking out guys inside, and then she just walks out and she sees them like crawling up a wall, and then she's like, oh hey guys, what are you doing? And then they look down at her, they're like, rescuing you.
So comedy is definitely in the works for you, in the cards for you too. Like to do some comedy, some action, maybe some comic book characters like Batman. Well, listen, we wish you all of the very, very best. Thank you so very much for being here with us today and for sharing a little bit of your acting life. Very exciting.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me. I had a great time.
You're a total star, Jack. And honestly, we could already see it.
Oh, absolutely.
Good job.
Yeah.
But we're not saying goodbye to you just yet. Jack's going to be back a little bit later to play a game with us.
Ooh, you ready for that?
I am ready for that.
First up, though, we're chatting with the creative team behind Collingwood's Bard on the Bay. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back after this quick break. Awesome. Oh my God, this is fun.
Welcome back to The Scoop. From rising stars to seasoned pros, our next guests are part of the collective behind Theatre Georgian Bay.
These actors have staged several productions across Georgian Bay, but are best known for their annual Shakespeare shows at the Outdoor Shipyards Amphitheatre and Green Space in Collingwood.
So you may notice Nadia's missing. That's because she's now joining us as a guest alongside fellow collective members Candy Price and Nancy Chappell. Nice.
Ladies, come on out!
All right, ladies, let's start at the beginning. Okay, so how did the Theatre Georgian Bay come to life?
Well, I moved to Meaford in 2014 and immediately found a way to get involved in the arts. And so the people that I was connecting with, we decided that there wasn't enough professional theater that was homegrown in our area. And so we were like, why don't we start something? And we cast out some lines, and all of a sudden the town was on board, and they were like, the town of Collingwood specifically was on board for us to do a summer Shakespeare. And one of our co-founders, so I started this with Stephanie Fowler and Cam Oates were my other two co-founders. And Cam had an affiliation with Stratford. We rallied everything and put a post out on the interwebs. And all of a sudden we had like 400 resumes that came our way. And we were like, no, we don't have money.
That whittled it down,
we just wanted to put on some shows with professional people. So we had to narrow it down to people who lived in the area. And we basically collected a group of like-minded collective members to kind of start this company. And we would operate under a profit share system. So it was basically just a couple of us sitting around having coffee and being like, we should start our theater company. Yeah, we probably should. How do we do that? Boop. And then all of a sudden, the collective has grown and changed, and 10 years later, we're still going strong. So Candy was with us from day one.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah,
I remember coming to meet you guys. It was actually in this room.
Yes.
Yeah,
it was.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we held auditions and pretended we knew what we were doing.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell. It's
Yeah. Well, we started pretty big. We did a handful of shows that first year,
Yeah.
and gradually have whittled it down to our summer Shakespeare that we do every year at the Shipyards Amphitheater in Green Space.
So what inspired that whole idea to actually bring it to the amphitheater?
That was partially Cam, partially the town and the location. And then, but I'm going to turn it to these guys because what's kept it going is actually the more interesting question. Because that first time it's like, wow, that was a success. But then we did it again and again. And Candy's sort of taken the reins in the company. She's stepped in a directorial way and very much sort of she's the mama of the group kind of way. So Candy, what do you think brings audiences and why do we do this every year to ourselves?
Yeah, we do ask ourselves that question sometimes. Why are we doing this to ourselves? It's the space, as you mentioned, is really kind of magical. It was a relatively new space when we started it, so not a lot of people were using it. So the town was very enthusiastic about having someone come in and do shows there. And because it backs onto the water, and you've got the water and the birds and the weather and all of this and the group of people all coming together and seeing old stories from hundreds, thousands of years ago. It creates this sort of magical atmosphere. That's what draws us back every year, I think.
Yeah, you basically don't need a set because you're like, well, but look, it's so pretty.
Yeah, yeah.
So how does the collective work as a producing team?
Well,
Nancy's our newest collective member.
what have you observed, Nancy?
What have I observed? Well, I've been involved with Theatre Georgian Bay from an acting perspective for, I guess, 5 years now. And this will be my 4th show with them. But this is my first year as a collective member. And basically we act as co-producers. So we all pitch in, we start hopefully the year before we present the show. And we each take a chunk of the work that's required. So there's work required around obviously marketing and script development and casting and auditions. And so we each take a chunk of that basically, and we have collective meetings pretty frequently. And then once we get our production team in place, then we start production meetings very regularly up until the run of the show. So there's set design. We all get to collaborate, and although it's usually quite minimalistic, we do need a few things on the stage other than just us. And then we usually tap into somebody who's got some talent in the department of costuming, and then setting rehearsals, and then off we go. And here we are. And it's a very compressed rehearsal schedule. It's a very professional rehearsal schedule in that we basically have about 3.5 weeks.
Yeah, so a huge part of the year leading up to is also grant applications and liaising with the town and making sure all those ducks are in a row. Because theater, despite our goal to make everything accessible financially for our audience, still costs money. So there's fundraising and grant applications that need to happen, which I keep looking at Candy because she's been our ringleader in that department.
Yeah, well, like right now, at the same time as producing the current show, Nancy and I are working on a grant application for next year's show. So these things happen kind of simultaneously. And
Stuff ahead, right?
yeah.
It's pretty much a year-round activity.
Yeah.
It ramps up over the fall into the winter, but it is still something you got to keep your finger on it throughout the whole year. Otherwise, those apples, they drop. Which is not a good thing.
I do just want to bring it back to the word accessibility, because that sort of is the core of everything that we try to accomplish with Theatre Georgian Bay. So not only financially do we make the pay what you can model, meaning it's by donation, but there's a suggested minimum donation of $25 at the metaphorical door at the entranceways. But I mean, if you're a family of 4 and that's not what you can afford, we're just grateful to be able to bring some Shakespeare into your lives. But accessibility translates also into the scripts that Candy adapts. She takes an epic script and somehow turns it into about 90 minutes, which is palatable, no intermission. And the way that she directs it and that we all perform it is very integrated with the audience, and it's very audience sort of.
So audience participation is a big part of it?
I wouldn't call it participation, just
Involvement.
Okay.
Yeah, because we're out in an outdoor space without lighting, without tech, really, of any kind. We are in direct contact with the audience. We can see them, they can see us. Shakespeare has many things that are in his plays where characters speak directly to the audience. So we include those. Sometimes the actors come through the audience. Sometimes they'll talk to go and sit down with someone in the audience if it's appropriate and actually speak to them. In the past, we have had opportunities in the plays to have a guest member of the audience come in and play a small part. We don't have a space for that in this particular play, but so anytime we can do things like that, we bring them in.
And we do seem to get a lot of kids that come out, which is great. And I think that's one of the things that really makes me happy about it, because, Shakespeare, you go high school, Shakespeare, but we want to make sure that it still lives.
Yes,
and I think that's one of the beautiful things about the way that the script is reduced to a small, a manageable length of time, but also accessible from the language perspective.
Right.
One of the most fun experiences I think that I've seen is when we did Romeo and Juliet, and there's quite a number of kids. Of course, it's a well-known play, but there's a number of young people in the front audience, and they're going. and when there's kissing, they're going, and it's I think that's just so awesome, and we see those families come back year after year, which is, I think, also really important to make sure that we don't lose that part of classical theater. I think it's still important, and I think it makes it perhaps more interesting when the time they get to high school, they'll go, oh, I saw Comedy of Errors, Romeo and Juliet, whatever, and it's like, oh yeah, you know what, that really wasn't as icky as I thought it was going to be, and maybe I can really enjoy it as part of my my education.
Well, accessible to people that way.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and that's the accessibility part too, that we want it to be for family friendly, so that anyone can come. And so, there are some plays we won't do because they're not family friendly. Some of his stuff is pretty heavy.
Would you do Macbeth?
You can't
What?
say that.
Oh no!
Everybody turn around.
You
go
can't say
stand
that.
up,
We're in the
Scottish
theater.
play.
Oh my
You've
goodness.
done it already.
Yeah, we will
Go.
Oh yeah.
No,
oh yeah.
it's
a thing.
It's a
It's a
tradition and a
thing.
superstition.
It's a thing.
Say that word?
You can't
The Scottish
quote
play?
the play, and you can't say the name of the play.
Well, I just need to finish my interview.
Oh, you have
do
to
her
do,
circles right after.
as soon as we're done, you have to go side
Okay.
circle 3
Circle,
times.
yes.
Okay, so tell us what guests the audience can expect with A Winter's Tale.
It's a really interesting play because Shakespeare wrote it later in his career, and he was getting a little more sophisticated with his stories. So it's not just, oh, this is a comedy and the whole thing's going to be funny and that's it. Or this is a tragedy. It's going to be sad and there's going to be a sad ending, but it's going to be lovely. It's a bit of both. It sort of starts out in this tragic world where terrible things are happening, and then it transitions into this other place where wonderful things are happening. And by the end of it, the two worlds have come together, and everything's been resolved. It's a sad story with a happy ending.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
I think that's one of the plays I haven't read yet.
Yeah, it's not one of his well-known ones. Yeah.
So we're 10 years in to our company, but this is our 9th year at the amphitheater. We did have COVID that took us out for a year, and we did we called it Stay at Romeo and Juliet.
Yes.
We did Romeo and Juliet on Zoom. So
Yes, we did.
Stay at Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was fun. So
yeah.
next year marks our 10-year anniversary. So
10th
that one,
anniversary.
that will be sort of bringing everything full circle. But in those 9 years, I mean, you get through a lot of Shakespeare's comedies.
And it's hard to choose
Yeah.
because they all have something fascinating or interesting or even topical in them that you can find.
Yeah.
Remember the first time reading Shakespeare, it's like,
Yeah, well, it
like,
wasn't
make it stop.
it wasn't written to be read, right? It was written to be heard and to be performed.
Well, Candy, Nancy, Nadia, thank you so very much for joining us today.
But listen, we're not done yet. After the break, we're playing a fun little game inspired by the Bard himself. And yes, Superstar Jack's coming back too, so please don't go anywhere.
Welcome back to The Scoop. We're here with some of the collective members from Theatre Georgian Bay and one of Georgian Bay's finest young actors, Jack Bishop.
So we're switching things up with a game called Bard or Band.
So, everyone, this is how it works. In front of us, there's a stack of quotes, and each of you in your hands have a little sign. One says bard and one says band. So bard is for a Shakespearean quote. Band is for a Canadian song lyric. So they're all mixed up in here. Don't think this is going to be easy because you'd be surprised how deep some of these lyricists are. All right, so we're going to go around the circle, starting with Nancy, and you're going to take turns reading them out loud. Now, the more dramatic you make your reading, the better. And extra bonus points for a British accent.
Oh, well.
I am not playing because I'm keeping score and also because I know all the answers.
Go
ahead.
Pick anyone?
Nancy's up, yes.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Okay. My words fly up. My thoughts remain below. My words fly up. My thoughts remain below.
That's interesting. Are we voting?
Yeah.
That seems bardish.
Yeah.
It does, but it also.
You are correct.
Oh,
Yes,
Yay.
it is from
Okay.
Hamlet. Candy.
all right. By the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes.
Ooh, good accent.
It's also the name of a movie.
Bard, 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 bard. Y'all have bard. You are correct.
right.
That is from
And,
Mc-
and now, because I said it, we're both going to have to go
We're all
outside.
gonna have to go circle. I'm sorry, I wasn't even thinking when I put that in there.
We'll fix it.
Hell is empty and the devils are here.
Ooh.
Do I get to vote still?
Yes.
Yes, 'cause you don't know.
The answers aren't on there.
Yeah.
Band.
I feel like that's a song.
Band. Bard. Oh, candy for the win. It is from The Tempest.
Okay.
Oh, well, you would know
Yes,
that.
yeah, we did that one.
As dramatic as you can, Janine.
The days drag on, the nights last forever.
Oh.
Oh.
That's gotta be
I'm going band. I'm going band.
band.
You're correct. That's a little Shania Twain, y'all.
Yeah.
You are the bearer of unconditional things.
That's Bard.
I feel like that's, was that the Romeo and Juliet?
I'm going band.
I feel like I will also go.
But it is a band.
Oh, yeah.
Band.
Yeah.
Alanis Morissette.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
My only love sprung from my only hate.
I mean, you make everything sound so beautiful.
Too early, no, too late.
Yes, you are correct. That is from Romeo.
Romeo and Juliet, yes.
Yeah, I want to
Yes, R&J.
from my grandma.
There is comfort in melancholy when there is no need to explain.
Bard. That's gotta be Bard.
That is not in a band. They don't use melancholy in the word.
I think somebody used melancholy.
Yeah, who used melancholy? Alana? No.
Candy is correct. It is Joni Mitchell.
Okay, well, she would definitely do that.
Yeah. See all those words? We still use all
Yes,
those.
we do.
We
Shakespeare's
do.
accessible.
Absolutely.
The wheel is come full circle.
Nice.
The wheel has come full circle. I'm
Going with band.
Oh, we're different.
I feel that's Bard.
I'm gonna go with band.
Worse.
What do you think?
What do you think, Jack?
Is it from
Bard
the
or band?
I'm gonna say Bard.
Oh, you are correct.
Very good.
It is Bard.
For the
Very
win.
good.
King Lear.
Oh.
Jeez, I
The
should have
wheel
been
is
playing one.
full circle.
Somewhere between your heart and mine, there is a window I cannot see through.
Oh, isn't that pretty?
Shakespeare has
It's pretty.
like Shakespeare kind of does that kind of thing where it's like it doesn't
Somewhere
rhyme,
between
but
your
like
heart
it
and
like kind
mind.
of hits you.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel that's bardish.
That's gotta be Bard.
It is bardish. That's why she picked it. But I think
Well,
it's
I'm
band.
going bandy.
Ooh.
I'm going
We're in
bandy.
It's
band?
the two sides again.
Band is correct.
Yes.
I switched
is-
right before
Who's
you
that?
said that
Anne
too.
Murray.
And
The night is my companion, and solitude my
Okay.
guide.
That's Bard.
That's
yeah,
a Bard.
I don't.
And
even
solitude,
know
you're-
anything else.
Guide.
That's
The night is my
Bard.
companion,
Like, that is
solitude my guide.
Shakespeare through and through.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll go with
If
that.
that's not Shakespeare, I'm gonna freak out.
I put that in there thinking that was like the easiest one, and I felt like, oh no, it's Sarah McLachlan, guys.
Oh, good for Sarah.
I think it's
like
all
walk
about
off
how
like
you
that.
present
Yeah,
it.
absolutely.
And that's
insane.
Well, everybody, that was a lot of FUN, and honestly, pretty impressive. No idea. Pretty cool.
Well, from stage to screen and Bard and beyond, it's been a celebration of all things thespian today, but we'll be back next week with more local businesses and a makeover you won't want to miss.
Oh, wow.
A huge thank you to our guests, Jack Bischoff, Candy Price, and Nancy Chappell.
Thanks for having us.
So, what's the scoop, Georgian Bay? You got to tell us.
If you've got an event, story, or local business we should know about, pop us off an email or drop us a comment below. We'd love to feature you.
Thank you so very much for watching. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.